Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn?
Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act One will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure.
You'll be happy you did.
So then I said, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm flattered that you love chocolate, but I'm here strictly in a professional. What's wrong with him?
He thinks you're naked.
My shell is brown. It just looks like my milk chocolate is showing. Only a fool would think I'd actually show up naked.
So it's that kind of party. Hit it!
I'm sexy and I know it.
Aye.
Look at that body. Look at that body. Look at that body. I work out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I'm the Body Mechanic NYC.
And we're here with Teresa Hart and her beautiful family, who's the author of The Enemy in the Inner Me. I got it right. So Teresa, who's your beautiful family?
Well, I first want to introduce my husband, Kevin Hart, for over 35 years of marriage.
Beautiful.
And and my firstborn, my beautiful daughter, Nicole.
Nicole, she is beautiful.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
Who is also an entrepreneur and have her own daycare business.
Nice.
And my one and only son, Kevin Hart. He's
Junior?
a senior, junior. He's
Oh,
a
nice.
senior in high school, getting ready to go to college to be a neuropsychologist.
Wow, I'm impressed. Very nice. Well, welcome, family.
Thank
Hart
you.
family.
Thank
So,
you.
Mr. Hart, I have a question for you. When you learned of Teresa's diagnosis, how were you affected? Well, here we go to the hotline.
Hotline.
Well, hotline. The first effect from that was to keep my faith.
Mm-hmm.
Teresa was not going to be known from her vision that we was up against a tough enemy. It was up to me to keep the strength, keep the faith, keep the fortitude alive. No matter how much it was beating me down on the inside, my wife had to see that her husband was quietly in control. And she had to feel the faith as well as to see the trust that the devil wasn't going to beat me down, that God was in control.
What did you do for yourself to maintain that turmoil within? You know, you're trying to project a positive and supportive image to your wife, but yet you're full of pain within. How were you able to handle that?
Through prayer. The first act that I went through was pray about it. Because if I allowed my physical nature to be bombarded by the news, it was automatically going to have a tragic effect on my effectiveness down the road. So I put it in God's hands, and he was able to exemplify me to put myself aside and put his faith first.
Right on. Right on. And your son and daughter, how did you handle things? When you first heard the news about your mom?
I think I hung the phone up on him. I was like, no, you don't. You don't have cancer.
Oh, you were in denial.
Yes.
Okay.
Not my mother. Why would she get that?
You really hung up the phone on her?
Yes. Yes, she did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She got back to work.
Yeah, but it, you know,
You didn't believe it.
my parents has really raised us where faith is really high. And if we crumble, that's going to be the end. So our faith was high. We prayed even more. We had some times where we cried because we didn't like to see mommy in pain.
Right.
You know, she had to get shots for her bones, and she was so fragile. It was we couldn't break down because she was already breaking down. We can't break down with her. we got to be the
Chemotherapy.
No, they gave me injection because they said by me taking chemo that the chemo eats at the marrow,
Bone
in
marrow.
the bone.
Everything,
So,
brain tissue, everything.
So they gave me an injection to multiply the marrow in my bones, which I was 48 years old. I didn't need to have that because I was still strong and healthy. And when they gave it, when they gave it to me, I looked like I was a 90-year-old woman.
Because it kills you.
It
Yep,
ate
it does.
my bones
It does that.
to the point of where I couldn't walk. I
hear this?
couldn't do anything. And when I went back to my doctor, he said, Teresa, why you didn't call me? Every patient is different.
Wow.
If you was in this much pain, but I said, I didn't know. I thought this was part of the process. And he was like, no. He said, everybody, goes through cancer different and different medications for different people. He said, and you don't need it because what we gave you, it multiplied, showing that you really didn't need it because you're still a healthy woman.
Wait a minute, these doctors don't communicate?
No.
No, they don't.
Did they give you any kind of classes or orientations
No.
prior to?
No.
Like what to expect?
No, no. My girlfriend Marguerite, my best girlfriend, who went through a mastectomy, basically helped school me and teach me about the whole process. And then I started learning as I, went along. It's a process.
Wow.
And you must educate yourself because you will be a guinea pig.
How long did you do chemotherapy for?
I only had to go through 4 cycles, which was 3 weeks apart from each other, but I had 2 of the strongest kind, Cytoxan and Taxotere. When they first gave me the chemo, I went into cardiac arrest.
Wow.
They had to stop it right then and there and give me Benadryl so that I would not die, basically.
I didn't know
Because they didn't know, people who take chemo, you don't know what the side effects are because the person never had it. So you on strict watch when they're injecting the medication in you to see if you have any side effects and be ready in case you do. So they know by seeing your reaction or seeing what you go through, what works and what doesn't.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's why they call it practice.
Wow. Junior, how did you handle the news about your mom?
Well, since I was in 7th grade, I mean, it was hard for me since I was the youngest out of all of them. And, my mom came in, I was playing my games. I was just finishing my homework. And, my sister and my mom came in. My dad didn't come home from work yet. And, they sat me down and, they told me my mom said, I have cancer. And being young at that time, I was like, okay, well, you're not going to die, right? And, the way she brought it to me as a warrior. And she said, we're going to get through this. And that's the motto with our family is no matter what obstacle, no matter what problem, we all just, we understand the situation and we just, tighten our fist and we come together and we always come out on top.
And that's what I admired most about your family. When you were on our radio show a couple of months ago, I was so impressed with the camaraderie, the unity of the family, especially the energy that your husband put out.
Yeah.
Especially, because that's your rock.
That's my rock. That is my rock. I mean, only God and him know me in a personal and intimate way. When I feel like I want to crumble or give up or it's too much, only him and God sees that. Other than that, everybody else see the strength in me, my faith, in God, because if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, I wouldn't be sitting here today talking to anybody about anything, you know. But faith brought us a long way, and it's our foundation. It's how we was raised. You know, my mother and father, they're with the Lord right now, but I have 5 brothers, and I'm the only girl, even though they think they're the oldest, but I'm the oldest. And, you know, Kevin, mother, who is right now 80. You know, she always says she's 21. She throws me off, but I believe she's 85 years old, and I call her my guardian angel.
Wow.
And just the faith of her alone helps us rest, you know, like stand on her shoulders when we don't have the energy ourselves.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we ran into you in my favorite restaurant on Mother's Day.
I know, right? How ironic.
Nothing happens by accident. You know that, right?
Nothing. Nothing. My daughter said, she's coming over again. And she's bringing somebody else with her. That was the body mechanic.
Teresa, talk about what inspired you to write a book.
God. I mean, I don't want to blow God up, but I have to because this is how it happened. I was on my bed of affliction, going through chemo, not even understanding the whole process. And the Spirit of the Lord said, write a book. I laughed. I said, write a book? I said, I can barely spell. And you want me to write a book? I said, okay. It took a while to process that, about a month. But then as time went on, I started writing little by little. And it was good in the beginning because I was able to document step by step, process by process, date by date, situation by situation, to give a raw understanding of what it really means to go through cancer. I thought I knew. You know, we all have empathy for people when they're sick and when they're going through. But when you have to go through it yourself and you have to deal with the process of it and the pain and the fear and the confusion of the whole process, it's like, oh my God, I had to cry out to God because I started thinking about everybody that I knew and didn't know that went through this process. And it's like, oh God, I just started praying for everybody and praying for their families and their loved ones because this is something to go through. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, and I don't have any enemies, not that I know of, you know, other than the devil himself. But other than that, you know, it takes the strength of God and the support system of your family. I mean, not just my family, but my church family, my job, my community, you know, everybody.
So you were comfortable in sharing a diagnosis with your circle of influence?
Oh, yes.
Because a lot of people that are diagnosed, they like to hide and keep it a secret because they're ashamed.
Yeah. And that's a fearful thing right there. Because when you hold it into yourself, you don't get the help that you really need. And another key point right there is that I'm going to talk about the black woman.
Right on.
We as black women feel that we have to be so strong and we have to endure so much that we can't crumble under the pressure.
That's right.
So when we really need to reach out for help, we don't. Ladies, black women, we don't reach out for help. But we need to reach out for help to get the resources and the support that we need because it's out there.
So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk more with your beautiful daughter. Okay. We'll be right back.
Okay.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the very shy body mechanic NYC.
Yes, he is very shy.
Yes.
We're here with Teresa Hart, who's the author of The Enemy in the Inner Me.
Yes, inner you.
Inner,
Got that?
me.
Yes, me, you.
You.
Inner.
The,
Heart.
The enemy in the inner me.
Much better, Charlie. You're awesome.
I know, thank you.
You're welcome.
So your mom said that you're an entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
Did you have your business when your mom was diagnosed?
Yes. No, I didn't. No.
Oh, you didn't?
No. I had to
Okay.
think about that one.
Before
Wait.
your mom.
Because I want to know if you know the whole journey of her illness affected your business.
I didn't have my business at the time.
Okay.
Thank God.
All right.
Yeah, we were still on the first floor then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, before I took over the house.
With the daycare center.
Yeah.
The whole house.
Whole house?
Way up on the second floor now.
She chased us
she
up.
got the whole first floor.
All first.
Yeah, we're looking for a building. Remember, we spoke about
Yes,
that.
yes, yes, yes.
That's an entrepreneur's do. They
Hello,
just
Elf.
take
We're
over.
looking for a building.
Building. Ding, 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 ding.
So your book, you wrote it because you found it therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's a great tool, a notebook for anyone going through
Oh, yes.
chemotherapy.
Yes, one of my coworkers' husband was recently diagnosed with colon cancer. And she said, Teresa, I grabbed your book right away and started reading it all over again to just help give me understanding and comfort and the steps that I needed to go through, you know, to help my husband, you know, through this process. And he's doing okay right now.
Good.
And the more I started writing the book, I realized that from a spiritual perspective, that this is the journey I needed to go down, to tell the story as raw as I did, because I was really up close and personal.
This was definitely therapeutic for you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, because in my quiet time while my son was at school and my husband and daughter was at work, I was home by myself. And at the time, my mom was alive, and my mom was living with us as well. And how ironic where I was diagnosed in August of 2008 with breast cancer, and in September of 2008, my mother was diagnosed with renal failure. So not only was I dealing, or the family was dealing with breast cancer, we was also dealing with my mother just getting a new diagnosis. So it was really, really challenging. So yes, the book was really therapeutic because I was able to write my thoughts and my feelings on paper at that moment. It means something at that moment because when somebody else read it, they can feel what you felt at that moment, most definitely. Yeah.
Very nice.
So, how old are you when you got diagnosed with
I
cancer?
was 48.
48. Wow. And you said you did chemotherapy for how the length of time was 2 months?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Are you taking any drugs right now?
No, just for high blood pressure.
You take high blood pressure meds.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't even take that because it doesn't seem to work.
What are you taking? Metformin? What do you?
Yeah, Macardis.
Okay.
You know, it's just the beginning stages, but thanks to my husband, who's also a health person, he gives me different vitamins to take, vitamin Bs, vitamin Ds, multivitamins, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Very good. Junior, after all that your mother's been through, what's your reaction to this? I think she's a hero.
I mean, she was a hero. It was ironic because my English teacher at that time when I was in 7th grade, she had a project for us to do, and it was my hero, Miss Casper Newhart Hart. And, you know, I was thinking, I was like, you know what? And then a thought hit me, and I was like, well, of course, let me do my mom. And, you know, taking pictures of her. And,
What was the
writing.
project again?
It's called My Hero.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I presented it to the class and everything, and everybody was quiet the whole time. I had everybody's attention. I explained it so thoroughly. And my English teacher had a little tear in her eye, and she wiped it, and she was like, beautiful. And she asks me all the time now, by the way. She says, how's your mom? How's your mom? How's your mom? And she's a hero. I mean, at that time, when you're young, you always want to see inspiration, and it builds up throughout the years. So that was my reaction. I put it into a PowerPoint, and then the next book is going to be part of hers.
Very nice. You're writing another book.
Yeah.
Talk about the cover. This is a very interesting.
That's a story all
diagram.
by itself. My daughter's friend, who is an artist, he was away at the time, but he knew that I was going through breast cancer. And I told him, I said, Junior, I need a cover for my book. And I gave him the title of the book on the phone. And about 6 months later, it came in a magazine in the original form, in chalk form, where if I smeared it, I would have messed it up. He said, be very delicate with it. And my daughter received it and ran upstairs with tears in her eyes. She said, Mommy, look at this. And when I saw the cover is when I knew that the book was birthed. That was reality. That I was really supposed to do this. Because how could he have put this together? We was thinking about the robe that I had on at the time was similar to the robe that he drew. And when you look at the picture...
Your brother did this?
No, a friend of my daughter's who's an artist. And it could be a black woman, it could be a white woman, it could be whoever looks at it, whatever you want that woman to be at the time. When his sister saw the work that he did, she said, this is the best work that my brother's ever done.
And what is his name?
His name is Junior Chandler. I said it wrong,
You
right?
said it 100%
Always,
wrong.
always wrong.
100%
always
wrong.
I mean, he's in the book.
Give us the right version.
His name is Chalmers.
Chalmers, right. Junior Chalmers.
Is it the same thing?
No, not the way
Where's
she
the
said
Chandler?
it.
The Chandler.
Me and
Then
my-
if you
I told
look-
y'all I was cancer.
Then if you look at the book, it's the same side that she had the cancer on.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
So y'all didn't tell him anything?
I didn't tell him. I mean, my mother spoke to him on the
Just
phone.
told him the title of the book.
That's
Didn't tell
it.
him the position where it was or anything. And the way that he drew it and the light shining, everything was on the same
Wow,
side.
that's kind of eerie.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a
I don't
good
mean to
thing,
eerie
but
like that.
still. Yeah.
we are
That's why
connected.
we knew it
Everyone's
was
connected.
just a divine connection. Just a divine connection.
So, Mr. Hart, what kind of encouraging words do you want to give to other husbands that have gone through the same thing you've gone through?
It's not about getting affected by the word cancer. It's all about having God treat you to treat your wife. God took control of my essence. It was very important for me to exclamate my vows in sickness and in health. Nothing will do us part. I wasn't going to allow the devil to wreck me because of an infirmary that God can heal. I had to put myself on the back burner. I had to examine my wife as she was going through, but I had to examine her with a medical eye and not a flirtatious eye. And I had to put so many things on the back burner and not allow myself to be induced the wrong way. Because assistance and faith was the first two parts of the menu. And I continued that. You have to have faith. Our women are precious, and we have to handle them as such. They are jewels in the Nile. And we have to be sure that we connect and stay connected. And that's what I did.
Right on. Right on.
There's
Very
a
well
part
put.
in the book I dedicate to my husband, and there was a challenging part that I had to write in the book regarding the sexual relationship, that people who go through breast cancer and go through cancer, it's a very traumatic experience because the partner suffers. And just like my husband said, if you're not connected and selfless, you're not going to be able to connect. And because of the love that we have for one another, we were still able to enjoy each other, lovemaking without lovemaking physically. But emotionally, you know, just having that mindset, just being there for one another. Because I said, God, please help me to explain this correctly so people that read it will understand. The medication and it takes everything away from you. As a woman, it dries you out. You're not able to feel no type of lubrication or anything. So sex, what is that at that time? You know, it's irrelevant because you cannot do anything because that's what the medication does. So once again, understanding what somebody that's dealing with cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, the women that I met and seen in the clinic, in the hospital, going through cancer, it's torture. I can't put it no other way. It's not pleasant going through it. There was a part where the first week I took chemo, I was standing in the bathroom combing my hair. I had long hair at one time. I was combing my hair.
It's coming out.
And I could literally peel the hair off my scalp like an orange.
She had a nice bald head.
It was nice. It
She
was
had a
shaped
cute
nice
bald
and
head.
everything. It was pretty.
It was nice.
Yeah. And my husband just so happened to walk by at that moment and saw me black out and was standing there in the bathroom looking in the mirror, combing my hair, taking the hair out, throwing it in the garbage.
How long was that after the chemotherapy?
The first week.
See how fast poison acts?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first week.
Wow.
And I lost every hair everywhere you have hair on your body.
Everywhere,
And
the whole entire body.
The whole entire
Everywhere.
body.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
And her nails,
Black.
My nails were
her
black.
toenails, everything.
Ah, yeah.
You can see it, and you can see the veins.
You could see the black wherever there was a bruise on my body or wherever there
had
was
the
a cut
needle.
and
That's
heel.
because your
It's
body can no longer protect itself because it completely destroys the immune response.
Yeah.
Everything.
And I basically had to be isolated
Because you
when
can't
you're
fall, you
going
can't
through,
move.
your immune system is shot.
That's right.
You can catch anything
Yeah.
Cold
and
can kill you.
everything. Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
It's still
Exactly.
kind of it's still like that now.
Yeah.
No, I was going to ask you some questions about
Yeah.
that. But you continue about what you were talking about. We'll come back to that.
You know, well, like I said, with the hair, and you know, my husband walked by and he saw me and he just grabbed me and he said, come out the bathroom. You know, he said, don't go into it, don't dwell into it. You know, it's going to be okay. And this is a funny moment because of going through. I needed some type of relief because I was in so much pain and I couldn't even stand to have a bra or a
Touching
shirt
your skin.
on or any because of, yes, exactly. So my husband, in his design way at the time, took a shirt, a short sleeve shirt, and cut 2 holes in it.
So glad we never saw it. Thank God. We never saw
And as funny as it was,
It was effective.
it was effective.
It works.
And it just showed me he would do anything to make sure I'm comfortable. You know, I mean, I didn't save the shirt. I should have saved it and framed it, but that was the most funniest moment in my life, but the most comfortable. It's time because I was so sick. I couldn't stand any friction or anything like that. And he cut 2 holes in it. And I said, this looked like a hot mess. But it was comfortable.
I'm glad that you were able to save your breasts.
Me too.
Me 3. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, because
Very
I
fortunate.
have seen
Yeah.
what it looks like. And as a woman, nobody wants any part of their bodies taken off of them. Arm, leg, breast, nothing. But seeing it, some doctors have the art of perfection, and some doctors don't. And I have seen it in perfection, and I have seen it in its worst state. And as women, we go through. That's why it's so important to have a good doctor and, research. And thank God for medical technology. Women don't have to be cut up the way we used to back in the days. That's why a lot of women back then, and I spoke to older women like 60 and 80 years old who would just die with it because it was just too much to handle to just deal with. You almost have to die to live again.
You said something about her still experiencing pain. Do you still have pain?
I still deal with neuropathy. Oh yeah, there's some days that.
Which you didn't have before you were using the chemotherapy.
No, I was a multitask person. I could do 100 things at one time. And today, if I do 2 things, that's good.
Do you get sick at all? You get colds and stuff?
Yeah.
More so than you used to?
Yeah. My immune system is not as strong as it used to be.
Okay.
It's gotten stronger.
It's gotten stronger. Yes, it has.
Then it was after you initially had the chemotherapy and stuff you're talking about. It's gotten stronger.
Within the last year.
So what are you doing now differently nutrition-wise before you got diagnosed? What are you doing differently now, eating-wise, rest-wise? What are you doing differently?
Well, I'm not a meat eater.
You were a meat eater before?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I just basically stick to fish more so. I'm even kind of weaning away from chicken now. But more vegetables, salads. I drink a lot of natural juices. And once again, my husband helps educate me on taking the proper vitamins, to help give me that extra energy. I do colon cleansers.
You do colon cleansers?
Yes. Yeah.
We all
do.
at
least we
you
all
do. You all do colon cleansers?
Yeah.
All of you?
Yeah.
Every day.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Oh, colon cleanse. You're talking about an oral.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right,
natural.
okay. I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Don't get excited about it, McKenna.
I take one every day, man.
Yeah, to
Yes, I do.
keep your body flushed. And I'm a
What's a colon cleanse? What is it? Is it a particular pill or is it something you drink? What is
It's a pill.
Yeah, it's a natural pill.
I thought you was talking. Got.
So we have a couple of minutes left, and I just want to ask Nikki if she would just share some words of encouragement as a daughter that has gone through this with her mom.
Well, you have to be prayed up because it's not easy. You don't want to crumble in front of you, the one that is that is going through. You just really have to keep that smile on your face and cry in your quiet time, because that's what I did. I would laugh with mommy, play with her, but when I was alone by myself, Lord, please, I can't. But faith, keeping your faith strong and praying, and that was my thing. That's all I could do. That's all that was needed. That's all I was taught. So that's what I say, praying and, staying united with the family and, just being there. Because I just have to be there with her no matter what. No matter what she was doing, I just have to be there. Be there for your family. Pray, fast, everything that God wants you to do. And
Teresa, what are your plans within the next 5 years?
Within the next 5 years, I'm looking to write another book.
What's it going to be called? Do you have a title?
I don't have a title yet,
Mm-hmm.
but it will be still dealing with cancer on the negative side because I lost my mom to ovarian cancer the day after Sandy's hurricane. And the weirdest thing is that as much as I was involved in my mom's health, we didn't even know that she had ovarian cancer until it was too late. And by the time we found out, it just spread like wildfire. And when I asked them how much time I had with my mom, and they told me a week, I collapsed right there. And then just going through that process, you know, and understanding it on the other side of the coin, you know, losing somebody to cancer, and helping my daughter grow her business.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Teresa, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Heart family, thank you. Big ups to you. Much love.
Thank you.
Big
Thank
hugs
you.
and kisses. Teresa, really quick, how can someone get your book?
Go to Amazon.com.
Amazon.com.
You could get the book. Is $10.99 now, and on Kindle it's $5.99 because of the holiday.
Okay.
You could also go to my website, authorteresahart.com, and read the story.
Thank you again. And thank you for joining us this evening at Body Shop TV. I am Chella.
I'm the Body Mechanic NYC.
Have a great week. Love hard and kiss long.